Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Michelle's vlog. And she started this week off with a bench press against a light band, so about 30 pounds of band tension. I think she got about 140 pounds here. She got 140, got a pause, drove it up, and a little grindy, but she got it. So notice that she follows through good right at the lockout, which means the tricep strength is coming along well, but because again she benches close grip, triceps are going to be kind of a big deal. They're going to be a very big deal overall, and we're going to have to put a lot of work into her triceps. So afterwards she does sets a close grip bench, and really I think we're going to have to do a lot of normal close grip benching in this slot for her. As much as I like floor presses and stuff, that very well may be the way that we need to go, just because of needing to build her triceps up, right? And I don't want to get too much overuse here, but we do have the benefit of, since we're rotating lifts all the time, we can get away with just close gripping in this slot as a second lift for quite a long time, right? This is how we can get away with it on conjugate. After that, of course, we do pull-ups. She does one-arm dumbbell rows. All right, so we knock those out, and then we're doing a lot more shoulder and upper back work. And because she actually needs all that shoulder work, eventually I might rotate her towards doing something similar to what I'm doing, of just doing a lot of pull-ups, because she's good at them. She's very good at them, so that'll handle her lats and biceps effectively, and then we can do all this shoulder work. But we are adding more and more shoulder work in, and I'm wanting to hit all the angles possible. But in the meantime, as we build her back, I think we're okay with doing a good mix of pull-ups. I just wish that we could do wider grips, but her shoulder won't allow it. So that's one problem with us taking the frequency up on something like that, is the fact that she has to do narrower grips for stuff like that. And again, it just has to do with previous surgeries and stuff in her shoulder that do limit what we can do there. And this is the thing that we do have to factor in with our individual lifters. And as coaches, you have to do that. You have a lifter who can't do certain things without pain due to previous surgeries, scar tissue, stuff like that. You work around and build around where they are, okay? And we can still maximize strength, because at the end of the day, we can still build a super strong close grip. We can build super strong narrow grip pull-ups. We can do all that stuff. But on max effort day, we're doing a couple different types of dumbbell movements. I have her do lateral raises, and then we do rear delt flies. Now, these pretty much work the shoulder girdle very, very effectively. Particularly factor in that we are benching and rowing and all that stuff on these days as well. So this is giving her definitely finishing up that whole upper back. Right, we are working it very hard. There's a lot of volume there now. Then, of course, she does her band press downs. And before long, I'm going to want to be able to work in some other tricep work for her, not just the band press downs. But that's an eventually. All right, hopefully in the near future. But I want to make sure those elbow tendons are healthy. I want to make sure of that, and then we can double down and start hammering some serious tricep work. But I think in the meantime, all of our close grip against bands are good. Now, she did good here with a 240 plus bands. The only thing is, I didn't realize till I was ripping the footage from it this week, she was a little high on that. So we got to work on getting that depth. Right? This is a concern for us. But notice the forward shift of the knee. All right, notice that forward shift of the knee for her, even though we're working on getting wider. All right, and then struggling with the depth. That's still a sign of hamstring weakness, and we've been working her hamstrings really, really, really hard. But they are limiting her. They're limiting her deadlift, as you guys can see when you watch her deadlift mechanics. And, they're still limiting her squat and ability to really sit back the way that we want on a squat, right? Like on a power squat. So it's something we're going to have to keep working with over time. You're going to have to keep working with it. But after that, we do good mornings with the safety bar. And again, people who've asked about her quad work, she's doing a ton of sled dragging, and because she's doing so much sled dragging, I'm giving her a little break from some of the quad work. However, coming up, we're going to want to add more back in, but but I also want to find a way to get her quad stance, or her stance real wide on something. I'm a little bit disappointed in the leg press she has because of the inability to get as wide as I might like, right? That is definitely going to be a problem. Because again, you can't quite go wide enough to do a true power stance. So we also might have to consider some single leg exercises if that's the case, which, you know, a lot of my lifters hate. She's one of those who will probably do them anyways, because it's just how she is. Like if you tell Michelle to do something in the gym, she's going to do it. So again, that's kind of one of the other things too that comes up when we talk about coaching men versus women. Men won't do stuff a lot of times that you want them to do as a coach. They will sometimes flat refuse. Women tend to not do that. Like I have had male clients tell me, I am not doing this workout. I am refusing to do this workout. Now, they don't last long, but men are more likely to go off program, and they're more likely to just refuse to do things that you prescribe them. And by go off program, they'll change exercises. They'll max out on an off day. They'll come in and max on a deadlift when they were supposed to be resting, just in between workouts. Men do stuff like this, even when they're being coached. All right. Speed bench day. Speed benching against chains. We're going to start working in some bands here in the near future, though. So we speed bench with chains. Then she does seated dumbbell presses, which she noted. She's like, I PR'd on these this week. I'm getting stronger, which is good. Delts are getting stronger, and that's what we want. We need her delts to come up quite a bit, right? We need them a lot stronger to support that benching, particularly since we're close gripping, because pecs are slightly de-emphasized. So it really becomes about delts and triceps. And people need to understand that doesn't mean pecs aren't being used at all. Just they're slightly de-emphasized, and in terms of importance, you know, relative to those two things. So it's just the nature of the beast. All right, after the seated presses, she does front raises. So this is a little more anterior side dominant on her delt work on this day. But between these movements, we are very, very thoroughly working all the heads of the delt. You know, and there is some overlapping carryover between those. You know, also keeping in mind, since we're doing rows on these days, you know, which carry over to a couple of the heads, you know, this is a lot of delt work. It's a lot of delt work. And I have them split up for her like that right now for that reason. All right, and then she does band press downs. Now, of course, I had pull-ups and dumbbell rows in here, but this vlog is going to get a little bit long. People won't watch them if they get too long. So we pulled that footage out because it was redundant. But they were there if you look at the sheet. See, we did do pull-ups. We did do rows. Again, band press downs for high reps to build tendons, build triceps. Then we do box squats. This week, notice she is able to sit back a little better on the box squats. So we are seeing some improvement there in terms of hamstrings. Now, I want to see that same depth when she maxes on a squat. Okay, if we're squatting onto a deep box right now, so we should be seeing carryover. All right. The speed squats are looking a lot better. Ideally, I'd like her a little wider on those, but that's going to take time. We got to build her adductors up. Okay, she's not limited by her quads on her squatting right now. It's really a lot of the hip extension and stabilizers, like hamstrings, which we need to get a certain bar path. You know, again, adductors, glutes. These are the things that's limiting her, right? She needs more glute, needs more adductor, needs more hamstring, right? Needs more delt, needs more tricep. This is the stuff that's going to bring up her big lifts right now. It's what we have to have. So then she does good mornings with a safety bar. Of course, then she does glute ham raises after. And then we finish up with reverse hyperextensions. And of course, she told me this week, yeah, these are getting way too light. Can we increase them? Like, of course, we're going to start bringing those up. We need to get a lot stronger at those. They will have direct carryover to her deadlift. I find that there's a direct carryover. Okay, there's a reason I go so heavy on these. You know, technically I do more weight on these than I can do on a deadlift. I pretty much do my max deadlift for sets of 10 on the reverse hyper. So we do need to get stronger at them, but it takes a little time to do that. But we will get there. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.